Hey guys, so I wanted to share a little bit of a haul. This is a continuation of my last humongous haul from Stitching Bits and Bobs, in which I talked about the Queen Mermaid. This is the haul that I will show that in. So I ordered from Stoney Creek for the Queen Mermaid, and I also ordered from Stitch and Frog, I think is what it's called. Oh, I wrote on the back of the receipt, that's why I can't find it. Stitch and Frog, which I heard about from another floss tuber, and so I thought I would check that out too. So firstly, it's the Queen Mermaid. I have her. Thank you guys so much I got a couple of offers of let me look for it for you. I appreciate that so much. Thankfully, this one is mine. So as I mentioned, she's holding a little something, and I just think she's lovely. And this is apparently out of print now, which is why I had such a hard time finding it all of a sudden. So that is the Queen Mermaid. I found it on Stoney Creek. I do not know if they still have it. Let me check, because I should be an informed floss tuber. I think it's gone. I just had a look on the Stoney Creek site and I cannot find it anymore. So I don't know why they would discontinue this pattern. I think it's beautiful, but it seems to be gone. And this is an earlier one. This is number 57, if you're interested. I bought a couple of other patterns from Stoney Creek because it seemed silly to just buy the Queen Mermaid, even though I was so obsessed about it. But I had time to shop. I wasn't so worried about it disappearing from the universe that I didn't have time to shop for some other patterns first. So this is Blackbird Designs Wild Berries. This is part of a series, but this is really the only one that appealed to me. This is the first in the series. Just a sampler. Yeah, something about the colors of this one really appealed to me. Here are some of the other ones. Yeah, but I really liked this one, Wild Berries. And this is, it looks like Gentle Arts. It's charted for, and there is no DMC conversion, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But that's Wild Berries. I also bought the Black Lace Sampler from Rosewood Manor. This I think is so beautiful. It's all black work, except in the middle, there is this beautiful little colorful square. That's like a little sampler. I just love the contrast of that. Here's a close-up of the colorful bit. And then it's in this really elaborate blackwork frame. So that is by Rosewood Manor. Gives you a couple of minis to personalize, which is nice. And DMC. All DMC. So that is Black Lace Sampler. And I also picked up this little package of beading needles. This was an impulse buy. It was like $1. I'm gonna try, they just taped it to my invoice, which I think is really cute. I'm gonna try not to show everything. But I bought these because they're short. Yeah, they're short. Short beading needles, which I thought was interesting and may solve my problem of stabbing myself repeatedly every time I use a beading needle, because it's longer than I think it is, you see. So I bring it back through my project and I just always stab my hand. So that is Stoney Creek. I also purchased from Stitch and Frog, as I mentioned, and I got a couple things from there. 3 things to be exact. The first thing I'll show you is this all the way back in my Stitching Bits and Bobs haul when I got that little schoolgirl sampler. What was it called now? I was so excited about it. It's like the little tiny one, the Please Send More Needles one. That was from the same time that I saw this pattern, and I wanted to get it, but it seemed kind of too gimmicky, and I was like, I don't need that. But the more I sat on it and waited, the more I wanted it. So I bought it from Stitch and Frog. This is by Ink Circles, who I am getting more and more into. I just think their designs are really like fun and different and have kind of an interesting twist on traditional cross stitch. But I bought this one purely for the pun. Tara, you know what I'm talking about. And this is Get Kraken. So Kraken, like release the Kraken. And it's a little sampler full of Krakens. Now it doesn't say anywhere on the sampler, Get Kraken, which is a shame. But I know that that's the title of it, so that's good enough for me. Something I thought was funny was, so this is all in German. And on the website, it didn't have a translation. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll just go with it. And on the back, it says, it has the translation. So apparently it says, and thus began the epic battle, and no man escaped his watery grave. Then there's a whole little story about how this is a reproduction of an antique Dutch sampler that commemorates the memorable battle of 1694. And then it goes on for this whole paragraph. And then at the bottom, there's a little asterisk, and it says, or maybe I just made all that up. Which just makes me love ink circles. I love that. Yeah, so that is Get Kraken. I also ordered another ink circles pattern. I'm getting into ink circles. I ordered the Alien Schoolgirl sampler, which I think is so cool, and I have so much to say about that pattern, but I won't say any of it until it gets here, except I'm going to change a little bit of it and personalize it to one of my favorite books that is alien based. Anyways, that is Ink Circles Get Kraken. I also bought from Plum Street Samplers the Nantucket Girls sampler. I guess I should take this out of its sleeve. That is what this looks like, and I'll read you what it says because I think it's amazing. It's allegedly, it's like a real verse found in Eliza Brock's diary. I think that's amazing. It is so, well, I'll just read it to you. I'll haste to wed a sailor and send him off to sea, for a life of independence is the pleasant life for me. But every now and then I shall like to see his face, for it always seems to me to beam with manly grace. With his brow so nobly open, and his dark and kindly eye, oh, my heart beats fondly towards him whenever he is nigh. But when he says, goodbye, my love, I'm off across the sea, first I'll cry for his departure, then laugh because I'm free. Amazing! What an amazing, like, little feminist girl power verse to put on this sampler. So I love that. That is Nantucket Girls sampler by Plum Street Samplers. And then the last pattern I got is from Perman. Oh God, it is all in Dutch. This is called Dutch Beauty. And let me find the English paragraph. A Dutch Beauty is the name for this wonderful sampler made around 1790 by a 13-year-old girl from the Low Countries, only knowing her initials HVZ, Z, Canadian. We still admire this embroidery on which she succeeded to bring alive 68 creatures with needle and thread. And there is something so, not just traditional about this, but like antique about this. I love the way it's laid out. It seems very like real to me. So this is Dutch Beauty. It's a biggin, but it has, I can't see what you can see. Oh, right, this is the other side. It has all of these little creatures in it, and there's no verse or anything. It just has the little initials, HVZ up here, and it reminds me very much of the way it's laid out. You know when you see like Egyptian wall markings and it's all just like very, I don't know why, is that a weird place for my brain to go? You know, like hieroglyphics where it's all just, there's a lot of stuff happening and it's all very busy. That's what I think of when I see this. There's something about this that appeals to me so much. So there's just like a lady inside this. It's a pretty comprehensive study of like why these creatures would have been chosen and why the layout is the way it is and why certain elements were incorporated. So that is a Dutch Beauty by Perman. And that is all of my haul to show you for this time. I would say that that is certainly enough for a good while, but I just mentioned that I ordered something else. So this is not the last of my haul videos, but hopefully the last, you know, for a little while. But you know when you're like, you're having a tough time and you're just feeling down and you just want to buy things, you guys know. So yeah, that is my haul for today. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.